Long before modern Mexico existed, before great cities rose across the Americas, a wandering people searched endlessly for a promised land. They crossed deserts, mountains, and deadly wilderness. For generations, they carried one belief, that their God would guide them to a sacred home. And the sign they waited for would become one of the most powerful symbols in history, an eagle, standing upon a cactus, devouring a serpent. This is the legendary founding myth of Tenochtitlan. The people we now call the Aztecs originally called themselves the Mexica. According to legend, they came from a mysterious homeland known as Aztlan. Some described it as an island paradise. Others believed it was a mythical realm lost to time. But one day, their powerful god, Huitzilopochtli, commanded them to leave. He promised them a glorious future, but only if they could find the land chosen by the gods. The journey would not last years, it would last generations. Families marched across unforgiving landscapes carrying sacred idols, weapons, and memories of their old home. Many died from hunger, others fell in battle, yet they continued forward, driven by prophecy. Huitzilopochtli gave the Mexica a vision, a sacred sign that would reveal their destiny. They were told to search for an eagle perched on a cactus, eating a serpent. Only there would they build their empire. For years, the Mexica searched endlessly. Every mountain peak, every riverbank, every forest clearing. They looked for the divine omen, but the sign never appeared. Other tribes mocked them. Some saw them as wandering outcasts. Others feared their growing warrior culture. Still, the Mexica refused to abandon the prophecy because they believed the gods were testing them. Eventually, the Mexica arrived in the Valley of Mexico. The region was filled with powerful city-states, fertile lands, and enormous lakes. But the newcomers were unwanted. The surrounding kingdoms forced the Mexica onto harsh lands nobody desired. A swampy island in the middle of Lake Texcoco. To others, it looked worthless. But destiny was waiting there. Then one day, the prophecy finally revealed itself. There, upon a cactus growing from a rocky island, was a great eagle. Its wings stretched toward the heavens, its eyes burned like fire, and in its beak was a serpent. The Mexica fell to their knees. After decades of suffering, wandering, and sacrifice, the gods had spoken. This was the promised land. This was where their empire would rise. And so, in the year 1325, they founded the city of Tenochtitlan. At first, Tenochtitlan seemed impossible to build. The city stood on marshland surrounded by water, but the Mexica transformed the island into one of the greatest cities in the world. They built causeways across the lake, massive temples, floating farms called chinampas, aqueducts, and canals. Within centuries, Tenochtitlan became a dazzling metropolis. Some historians estimate it held over 200,000 people, at a time when many European cities were smaller and dirtier. Spanish conquistadors later described it as breathtaking, a shining city rising from the water like a dream. Though the Aztec Empire eventually fell, the legend never died. Today, the eagle and cactus remain the national symbol of Mexico. At the center of the Mexican flag, the ancient prophecy still lives. It represents perseverance, destiny, survival strength against impossible odds. A reminder that one people's struggle created an empire remembered centuries later.